Folks, you're very welcome down to week number 5 in the StockHouse sessions featuring Derek Warfield and the Young Wolfe Tones and special guest. The special guest tonight being Davy Fury. We would want to say first a very big thank you to the Live Performance Support Scheme, which made this all possible to run this series of events. We also would like to take this opportunity, given the week that's in it, to congratulate Milo and Natalie on getting hits during the week.
Thanks very much, Michael. Thanks a million. I'm a changed man. I'm a new man.
Oh, changed man forever, believe me. And
did you not see his waistcoat? Hello?
I was going to say, did you not see the waistcoat?
The wife,
amazing.
The wife is all over him.
Oh, I seen Natalie show me, or he showed me the fingerprints. Say no more. But we also want to say a big welcome and a thank you to Davy Fury, who will be playing now during the intermission tonight. And congratulate him on his new album, Haunted Streets. It's a brilliant album, it's well worth listening to, and it's featuring Steve Wickham there from the Waterboys, Darren Holden from the High Kings, and a host of other guest artists. But Davy will be entertaining now during the break tonight and keeping the tradition of mixing it up here with Derek Warfield and the Young Wolfe Tones. This is a phenomenal success these last 5 weeks, and for the next next eight weeks as well, and it's going out all over the world. And we say hello to everybody all over from Stockhouse and Trim, and we welcome again the brilliant Derek Warfield and the Young Wolfe Tones.
Thanks, Mick. Hey. Lovely, Mick.
Good. After that introduction, I'm really looking forward to listening to it. Very good, Mick. Thanks indeed for those kind words. And we're going to be here on stage from now until 5 in the morning. We're going to start off with one of the great ballads of resistance, a song that I've been singing all my life, a ballad that has said more about the Irish people's resistance to the attempts by our forces of the Crown to take over our country. And it's a wonderful ballad from the city of Dublin. It was written by Dominic Bean. You'll all know it. Let's hear you all sing, "Get Out Your Blackened Hands."
There's Mary McCrohan says, congratulations, Milo and Natalie.
No, there's loads coming in. Thank you very much,
Lots
folks.
of congratulations coming in, yes?
Yes, thanks a million.
Can't see the rest of them. Oh, there's Kay Whelan. She tunes in every single week. She says, congratulations to Milo and Natalie. Stephanie Norbis Merrigan. Hi from Enniscorthy, and she shared. So remember, sharing is caring, because we keep getting put in Facebook jail. So
Sharon is
there's Paddy P, Bernadette Vidal. Can't see the one above it. Who it is from?
Sherry Skjoling. Hello to
Sherry.
Derek, Demars, and Milo and Wayne.
Huh?
And Andreas.
And how are you now? You're going to jail.
He's in jail, and as a married man now, he's going to play the guitar like he never played it before. So, and we're going to start out, as I said, with the great ballad
Kevin Deegan.
that was written by Dominic B. And let's see you join and sing together. Get out you blackened hands.
Especially for his mammy that's watching him from downstairs.
Yes.
So there you go.
Hello,
There's
Mammy.
Harry Townsend.
Hello,
There's,
and Fran. Yeah.
I thought you'd never come.
there's Bernie and Tony watching in as well. Here we go.
Okay.
1, 2, 3, 4.
I was born in a Dublin street where the Lyle drums did beat. Those living English feet walked all over us. And every single night when me dad would come on tight, he'd invite the neighbours out with the chorus. Come out, you blackened hands, come out and fight me like a man. Show your wife how you won medals down in Flanders. How the IRA made you run like hell away from the green and lovely lakes of Kildashandra. Come tell us how you slew them all Arabs 2 by 2. Like the Zulus, they had spears and bow and arrows. Bravely you faced one with your 16-pounder gun, and you frightened them natives to the marrow. Come out, you black and tans, come out and find me like a man. Show your wife how you won medals down in Flanders. How the IRA made you run like hell away from the green and lovely lakes of Kilishandra. Come, let us hear you tell how you stand the great Parnell, and you taught them well and truly persecuted. What are the sneers and jeers you loudly let us hear, and our leaders of 60 were executed? Come out, you black and tans, come out and find me like a man. Show the wife how you won medals down in Flanders. How the IRA made you run like hell away from the green and lovely lakes of Kilishandra. Well, the time is coming fast. I think the day is near when each Jonian will run before us. And if there be a need, well, our kids will say Godspeed with the best or two of singing this fine chorus. Come out, you black and tans, come out and fight me like a man. Show your wife how you won medals down in Flanders. How the IRA made you run like hell away from the green and lovely lakes of Kilishandra. I was born in a Dublin street where the Lyle drums did beat. Those loving English feet they walked all over us. And every single night, when me dad would come home tight, he'd invite the neighbours out with this chorus. Come out, you black and tans, come out and fight me like a man. Show the wife how you won medals down in Flanders. How the IRA made you run like hell away from the green and lovely lakes of Kilishandra. One more time together. Come out, you black and tans, come out and fight me like a man. Show your wife how you won medals down in Flanders. How the IRA made you run like hell away from the green and lovely lakes of Kilishandra. There we go, lively start there, the great ballad there. Get out your black and tans, remembering the dark days of 100 years ago when the black and tans were rampant around Ireland, and that's one of the great ballads of resistance. This time we're going to have the newlywed to sing, and he's going to sing a ballad called The Rocky Road to Dublin. Oh. Well...
You're trying to say something, Derek? Is it a rocky road ahead?
Is this a metaphor? This is a metaphor.
It's a rocky road to Texas.
Yeah, well, it's going to be plain sailing. It's going to be plain sailing for the...
That was a bit like me on Wednesday. Plain sailing.
The Mars will tell you how exactly it is, yeah. Yes.
By the way, Derek, we have a special request there for the Rose of Kildare, and I know his mammy likes that one as well, so keep that in mind for later.
Okay. Sure, yeah, we'll do that at the Rose of Kildare, but... Yeah, we start off with the Rocky Road. So here we go, folks, and don't be shy, indeed, to tell folks around the world that all our songs and music are available for download, and we like to, we long to be back playing for a live audience, like all musicians and performers. We miss indeed the response from people, and although we're here in the Stockhouse, we do have a lot of people listening and watching the show downstairs and outside eating food. But it's not the same as having a live audience and performing and feeding off the reaction to the songs and enjoying the passion that's associated with the Irish ballad. So, but here's, and it couldn't be any livelier than this next ballad, because no man can sing this song better than Milo. And here he is with a Rocky Road to Dublin.
Thanks very much, Derek. Okay, right. Let's give us a hand with this one, folks. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It's very easy.
Drop your forks, drop your knives, glasses, let's hear.
Is it 5 or 6? One, two, three, four.
Well, in the merry month of May, now from me home I started, left the girls a tune so sad and broken heart. I saluted me father dear, kiss me darling mother, drank a pint of beer. Grief and tears this mother then off to reap the corn and leave where I was born. Cut us down like torn to banish ghostly goblins, brand new pair of brogues, running over the bogs, frightening all the dogs on the rocky road to Dublin. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, hunt the hare and turn her down the rocky road, all the ways to Dublin. Whack will Aldi Ra.
Whack will Aldi Ra.
In Dublin next the ride, I thought it such a pity to be so soon deprived the views of that fine city, but then I took the stroll, all among the quality bundle it was stole. In the neat locality something grasped me mind, and when I looked behind, no bundle could I find. Upon me stick, a wobbling acquired, and for me rogue, and me cannocks abroad, wasn't much in vogue. On the rocky road to Dublin, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, hunt the hare and turn her down the rocky road, all the ways to Dublin. Whack full Aldi Ra.
Whack will Aldi Ra.
In Mullingar the night I rested limbs so early, started by the light. Next morning bright and early, took a drop of the pure, keeping me heart from sinking, the paddy's cure. Early night for drinking to see the lassie smile and laughing all the while, and me curious thou was set your heart a bubble and asked if I was hired. Wages I required, I was almost hired. On the rocky road to Dublin, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, hunt the hare and turn her down the rocky road, all the ways to Dublin. Whack full Aldi Ra.
Whack will Aldi Ra.
Now hang on, tree, go! Me spirits and never fail, and landed on the quay just as the ship was sailing. Captain and me roared, said the Northern Paddy. I jumped aboard a cabin found for penny, but down among the pigs played some hardy rigs, danced some hardy jigs. The water round me bubbling went up Holyhead. Wish myself were dead, better find instead. On the rocky road to Dublin, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, hunt the hare and turn her down the rocky road, all the ways to Dublin. Whack will Aldi Ra. Now the boys of Liverpool, when I safely landed, called me set the fool. I could no longer stand it, blood began to boil. Temper I was losing for old Erin's Isle. They began abusing her army, so says I shall lay the Isle of Fly. Galway boys and by, and saw I was a hobbling with the loud array, joining in the affray, quickly cleared away. On the rocky road to Dublin, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, hunt the hare and turn her down the rocky road, all the ways to Dublin. Whack full Aldi Ra.
Whack will Aldi Ra.
Now hang, don't tree, go! rocky road, all the ways to Dublin, whack for Aldera. Hunt the hare and turn her down the rocky road, all the ways to Dublin, whack for Aldera. What shall we do with the drunken sailor? What shall we do with the drunken sailor? What shall we do with the drunken sailor? Early in the morning, way up she rises, way up she rises, way and up she rises early in the morning. Put him in his cover with the hose pipe on him. Put him in his cover with the hose pipe on him. In his cover with the hose pipe on him. Early in the morning, way up she rises, way up she rises, way and up she rises early in the banjo. What shall we do with the drunken sailor? What shall we do with the drunken sailor? What shall we do with the drunken sailor? Early in the morning, way and up she rises, way and up she rises, way and up she rises early in the morning. Put him in the bed with the captain's daughter. Put him in the bed with the captain's daughter. In the bed with the captain's daughter. Early in the morning, way and up she rises, way up she rises, way and up she rises early in the banjo. What shall we do with the drunken sailor? What shall we do with the drunken sailor? What shall we do with the drunken sailor? Early in the morning, way and up she rises, way up she rises, way and up she rises early in the morning. Now shave his belly with a rusty razor, shave his belly with a rusty razor, shave his belly with a rusty razor. Early in the morning, way up she rises, way she rises, way up she rises early. One more time, now way up she rises, way and up she rises, way up she rises early in the morning. Early in the morning, getting your belly shaved with a rusty razor. Hello, you've that to look forward to, yeah. That's the drunken sailor there and the rocky road to Dublin. We have some great fun with that song. And of course, the Rocky Road is one of the great ballads of Ireland, reminding the folks of the emigrants that left Ireland and walked on the Royal Canal, along the banks of the Royal Canal. They walked all the way to Dublin to get the boats to Liverpool to get to America. They were dispersed and disposed of out of this country in a fierce manner by the authorities back in the 19th century. But they left us a living picture in words, in songs and ballads. And this next song is one of those great ballads that remind us all of the disposal and dispersal of so many of our people over in the aftermath of the starvation in the 1840s and 50s. A beautiful song that's going to be sung with the golden voice of Andreas Durkin from County Cavan. It's a song from his own native county, and it's a beautiful ballad that reminds us all of the tragedy and the suffering of our people when they were evicted from their cabins, mud cabins, and their very small abodes back in the 1840s and 50s. This is one of the great ballads of that period, and here's to sing it is a man from the great county of Cavan, Andreas Durkin.
Thank you, Derek.
And the Lochsheelan eviction.
A couple of requests there. I know we had a request there for Jennifer Stacer. She's looking for Go Letty Go, Wild Mountain Time.
Lovely.
We also had one from, oh yes, I want to say hello to Kathy and Clinton out there from Arizona.
You got a bit of rain out in Arizona there, I heard. Maybe you could send some over to us here now in Ireland.
No, we don't want it, Derek. We're just used to the 90
Celtic
degree
Symphony.
weather now.
Rainy Arizona. I doubt that, no? Okay.
Keep the messages coming in and keep the comments coming. We love
Yes,
to hear
Mark,
from
we'll
you.
give a Celtic Symphony a go. David Watson's looking for north and south of the river. Celtic Maniac, okay. And Terry Durkin from Cincinnati is watching in, and it's her week 62, and she has not missed a week in 62 weeks.
Wow.
Yeah, well, we've been performing the shows for 74 weeks. Well, since the 75th, I think.
No, we've had actually 62 live shows, and this is her 62nd watching in.
Oh, well, yeah, but we've had, we had, before we came into the StockHouse, 68, 69.
Well, we haven't. No.
And now we're in the 70s, yes.
No, I don't think so. I think
No,
62.
that's
All
the
right.
temperature. The temperature.
The show 70.
Somebody's looking for Crackers 90.
Oh, it's 90. It was 90 during the week. We're still talking about the weather.
So, Sydney, it's actually flooding in Arizona.
What?
It's flooding.
What is it? Flooding.
1, 2.
Farewell, my love. A sad farewell, my tale of anguish. No one can tell, for I'm forced to fly o'er the ocean wide from the home I love, by like shield inside. So proud was I of my girl so fair, I was envied most by the young men there. When I first brought her, a bashful bride, to my cottage home, by like shield inside. At the harvest dance in the village green, to the blind old Louise enchanting strain, no foot like hers could so nimbly dance, nor smile so sweetly as my Eileen's glance. Farewell, my love, a sad farewell, my tale of anguish. No one can tell, for I'm forced to fly o'er the ocean wide from the home I love, by the shield inside. Oh, but all our joys were too good to last. The landlord came, our young hopes to blast. In vain we pleaded for mercy, no. He hurls out in the blinding snow. Now none would open for us their door, for ill-felt vengeance would reach them sure. my eye faded in my arms and died, while the snow lay deep by Loch Shielin side. Farewell, my love, a sad farewell, my tale of anguish no one can tell, for I'm forced to fly o'er the ocean wide, from the home I love by Loch Shielin side. Said a prayer for my lifeless love, and I raise my hands to the Lord above. O God of justice, I wildly cried, revenge the death of my murdered bride. I laid her down in the churchyard low, where in the springtime sweet daisies grow. I shed no tears, for my heart had died on that woeful night by the Shielin side. Farewell, my country, I can no longer stay. This ship will soon take me far away. Sooner by my Eileen's grave, by Loch Shielin side, by my Eileen's grave, by Loch Shielin side. Thank you.
The golden voice there of Andreas with the beautiful song, their Loch Shielin Eviction. And I think you were right, Damaris, 68 weeks we're on the road doing this.
Yes,
69.
69, the magic number.
Actually,
Terry
69. Terry Durkin is the correct. She has the correct number because she's been watching every single week.
Yeah, and that's over a year and well, nearly a year and a half now. We've been performing live thanks to Mr. Zoom. He's very kind to us, wouldn't you think? Mr. Zoom should get a
had to sack Mr.
present
Zoom now
from us,
for.
We'll have to watch.
We've had to sack Mr. Zoom now for Facebook Live. So.
But
Actually, we got thanks Stephen.
The great thing.
Stephen is the person that puts us online now. It's not Mr. Zoom at all.
Yeah, I was accused of, when I mentioned Mr. Zoom about 2 weeks, 6 months ago, somebody put a text in saying, "How do you know he's a man?" I said, "Well, I don't know." So, Mr. and Mrs. Zoom, thanks very much indeed for keeping us in contact with all our friends and lovers of Irish songs and ballads around the world. It's been our way of keeping in contact with so many people. And now you're going to listen to and watch the magic fingers of Damaris on the banjo, and she's going to play a couple of tunes for you. And if you have any requests, send them in and let us know what you'd like to hear, because this lady can play almost anything on that instrument. And the banjo, of course, started its career across in America and came up back to Ireland The man who made it famous in Ireland actually was a man called Dan Emmett, and he brought his Virginian minstrels to Ireland before the starvation in 1843, and he toured around Ireland with the banjo, and the singers and ballad singers saying, my God, that's a great instrument, we can play it on the street and we can be heard. And Dan Emmett was responsible for this banjo, and Dan, of course, was a great troubadour, wrote a very famous song, Dixie, and he also could speak with an Irish brogue. Not just any Irish brogue, but he could speak with a brogue from the north, the south, the east, and west, and he could put them on. And he was believed to be the greatest mimic of Irish accents in America. So that's Dan Emmett. And this is the banjo.
No.
No.
The Flying Fingers.
Flying fingers.
The flying fingers of Damaris Wood.
They're called the flying fingers because I don't give two flying fingers. Actually, we've been reprimanded now. It's not Mr. Azum anymore. It's called Mr. Zuck.
Sorry?
Zuck. Z, Andreas, not Z.
Sorry. Oh, God.
But a request for the Foxy Loxy song, yeah. Let's see the emojis now, the little fox emojis.
Yes, the Foxy set.
It's terrible.
That's actually what happens to tunes. You know, people make up names in them and then they turn into something else. So, you're like, what it was.
It's a bit like our show. We turned into something else.
Gee, we're all in great form tonight, that's for sure.
I think it's the heat.
It's the heat,
I
yes.
don't know about you, but I have a waterfall coming down my
Who's on heat?
Who's in heat?
You
We're not looking at the bride and groom at all.
I should tell the folks watching in America that we're having an extremely warm heat wave here in Ireland. It's the temperature is getting up to around 30 degrees Celsius, so people are getting weak at the knees, and they're even looking now for air conditioning, and so it's unusual because we don't get these sort of summers. We get them once every 40 years or 30 years, but you know, it doesn't take long for people to start complaining.
I'm not complaining.
I ain't complaining.
No, we like it here. We like it, yes.
Absolutely. Bring it on.
Okay.
fox hunter's reel. Where would you get it? Where would you get it of a Friday evening in County Meath there? The Flying Fingers of the Morris Woods there on the banjo. And I think the fingers nearly flew off that time, yes. I don't know how they kept it on the hand. But that's...
Something nearly flew off. I don't know what it was.
yeah.
Oh my God.
I missed the jump.
So a very, very special request for this next song last week with Tim Finnegan's Wake. And I just want to mention that Tim Finnegan is running a cruise. And we'll be honest.
Absolutely. We're all on a cruise.
All aboard.
All aboard.
You don't
All aboard.
We just hope that, we're kind of hoping there's no dead people that we have to wake up.
Well,
Come back to life.
there's one thing for sure, that people have no place on the cruise with us. And it's next February. When is it?
And there'll be whiskey flying.
It's the 6th of February till the 13th.
Yes.
And we'll all get off right before Valentine's.
Hey.
The rise and fall of
No,
Tim
promise.
Finnegan. He's going to rise
Yeah, I can guarantee
from
you.
Florida. And what date is it?
6th to the 13th of February.
16th to 13th of February.
Yeah.
And he's going to
You
fall
get your
off-
roses as you get off the boat.
He's going to fall on the 13th of February.
There's Yvonne Steiner watching in from Newfoundland in Canada. Lovely part
Yeah,
of the world.
well,
Yes.
we'll have to get out
Bernadette
to
Vidal is
Newfoundland.
going on the
yes.
cruise. Look, fair play to you, Bernadette. Thanks very
She's
much.
got all the emojis ready now of the cruise and emojis.
Yes, well, there's no
You're
better
going
place.
too. Yeah, we're all going.
I don't know, there's no better place where the appreciation
I hear Rachel
for
might be
Irish
coming
song
too.
is expressed more fervently than in the Newfoundland. The people just love Irish music, and I've been there many times, and we'll be there, please God, over the end of this year, or early next year. But Tim Finnegan's song inspired James Joyce to write the great novel that he wrote, Finnegan's Wake. And he wrote 4 books, and Ulysses, you know, all the books that he wrote, the Dubliners. But Finnegan's Wake was his last book. And it's about the rise and fall of everybody. Poor old Tim was used as a metaphor. He went up the ladder, and he fell down, drunk. And God love him, he was waked. And the song, of course, was made popular by the great Clancy Brothers and Tommy Makem, and they made their own of it. But here it is now with the young Wolfe tones. We're all going to rise again with Tim Finnegan.
Lovely, lovely, lovely.
And actually, there's a couple of comments there. People looking for the Bunny Shows a Heron and the Rising of the Moon as well.
Oh, brilliant, yes.
So,
Lovely.
there's Christina Smith is watching in there from Ballivor in County Meath. I love saying that word, County Meath. I just think it's two words, you know.
Royal
We
County.
didn't do
Meath.
well last week, huh?
Bias,
What? Huh?
bias.
Pardon?
Well, I
Me
think
didn't do well.
Tim Finnegan's father was from Meath, yes.
Oh, was he?
Yeah, he was. Yeah.
Who beat Meath, Derek, at last weekend?
You can't talk about that in
Oh,
Meath.
no, jeez, I'm surprised you're not saying anything.
No, I'm not a sore winner.
Ah!
Oh.
Thank you very much. Okay, here we go with Finnegan's Wake.
You wouldn't have said that 20 years ago.
Tim Finnegan lived in Walkin Street. He was a gentle Irishman, mighty odd. He had a brogue so rich and sweet. At the rise in the world he carried the hod. Well, Tim with the sort of a tippler's way. With the love of the liquor, Tim was born. And to help him on each way his days with the greater every morn. Whack full of iron out and see a partner around the floor you'd rather shake. Wasn't it the truth? I told you lots of fun at Finnegan's Wake. One morning Tim felt rather full. His head felt heavy and it made him shake. Well, he fell from the ladder and he broke his skull. Ouch. And they carried him home, his corpse to wake. They rolled him up in a nice clean sheet. They laid him out upon the bed, with the bottle of porter at his feet and the bottle of whiskey at his head. Whack full of down out and see a partner
around the floor, your trotter shake. Wasn't it the truth? I told you lots of fun at Finnegan's Wake.
His friends assembled at the wake, and Mrs. Finnegan called for lunch.
Big Mac, Big Mac,
What's-
Big Mac, Big Mac. Big Mac,
curry.
please. Chicken curry.
First they brought him tea and cakes,
Lovely.
and pipes, tobacco, and whiskey punch. The widow alone began to cry. Such a nice clean corpse did you ever see? At a Tim Mavorney, and why did you die? And I hold your gob, says Paddy McGee, a white bullet Arnold, and see a partner on the floor, you'd rather shake.
Wasn't it the truth? I told you lots of fun and Finnegan's Wake.
Then the Bill Malone took up the job. Harassed she, Biddy, you're wrong, I'm sure. And then she gave her a belt and a gob,
Baby Jesus.
and left her sprawling on the floor. The Civil War did soon engage. 'Twas woman to woman and man to man.
Yeah.
Shillelagh law was all the rage, and the revolution soon began.
Whack full of Arnold, dancing your partner around the floor, your trousers shake. Wasn't it the truth? I told you lots of fun and Finnegan's Wake.
Then Mickey Maloney took up the job. Harassed Biddy,
You're sure.
and then gave her a belt and a gob, and left her spreading on the floor. And Civil War did soon engage. 'Twas woman to woman and man to man.
Yeah.
Shillelagh law was all the rage, and a revolution soon began.
Whack full of Arnold,
Don't see a part.
around the floor, your trousers shake.
Wasn't it
The truth, I told you lots of fun at Finnegan's Wake. And Mickey Maloney
Maloney ducked his head
as the
when a bottle of whiskey,
flew at him.
it missed him and fallen on the bed.
And
But the liquor spluttered over Tim, and Tim revives and see how he rises. Tim Finnegan rising from the bed.
Hey!
Says, fiddle your whiskey round like blazes, tumbling jest, do you think I'm dead? Whack full of Arnold, and see a partner around the floor, your trousers shake. Wasn't it the truth? I told you lots of fun at
Finnegan's Wake.
Oh, whack full of Arnold, and see a partner around the floor, your trousers shake. Wasn't it the truth? I told you lots of fun at Finnegan's Wake. Lots of fun at Finnegan's Wake.
Oh, Wayne, actually.
Wayne, yes. That's Finnegan's Wake, and we woke him up there after a long absence there. And he wasn't too sure where he was there for a minute.
Oh, they were the three to an extra verse there.
Yes, and I told him he was in County Meath, and he looked at me and said, God, you get out round there.
People sing.
Oh,
Bit of a
he's
Christmas.
going to let the people sing.
Yeah.
So Wayne is going to sing a song, and one of the most successful albums that I did in the past was Let the People Sing with the old band, the Wolfe Tones, back in the 1972. And before this song, indeed, we ever recorded this song. But Let the People Sing was a slogan that was used by Pete Seeger in America, and encouraging people to sing the songs of the locality in the folk music revival back in the 50s. And but it's no better, no better song indeed to bring people together singing about the events and the issues that affect them, and that tell stories. And this song does that. So here's Wayne, who's all the way from County Offaly, and playing the bass, Wayne Burleson, and Let the People Sing.
Oh, those who are in love is a song that's warm and tender. Those who are oppressed, well, a song you can protest. Oh, liberate your mind, give your soul expression, open up your hearts, I'll sing for you this song. Let the people sing their stories and their songs, music of their native land, their lullabies and battle cries and songs of hope and joy, join us hand in hand. All across this ancient land, throughout the test of time, it was music that kept our spirits free, the songs of yours and of mine. It was back in ancient time, where the bard would tell his story of the hero and the villains, of the chieftains in the glen, through Elizabethan time, with Cromwell's war and fury, put the pipers to the swords, kill the harpers and our bards.
Let the people sing the stories and their songs, the music of their native land, their lullabies and battle cries and songs of hope and joy. Join us hand in hand. All across this ancient land, throughout the test of time, it was music that kept our spirits free, the songs of yours and mine.
Ireland, land of song, how your music lives forever, in the mountains, in the valleys, in its hills and in its glens. Our music did survive through famine and oppression. Oh, the generation gone, I sing for you this song. Let the people sing the stories and their songs, music of their native land, their lullabies and battle cries and songs of hope and joy. Join us hand in hand. All across this ancient land, throughout a test of time, it was music that kept our spirits free, the songs of yours and mine, the songs of yours and mine. This land is your land, this land is my land, from the northern highlands to the western islands, from the hills of Kerry to the streets of free Derry. This land was made for you and me. As I went walking by the Shannon water, I'm hand in hand with my little daughter. Heard the church bells ringing and the children were singing. This land was made for you and me. This land is your land, this land is my land, from the northern highlands to the western islands, from the hills of Kerry to the streets of free Derry. Oh, this land was made for you and me. As I went walking by the coast of Houghton, I heard the waves roar by the lovely seashore. Her eyes were gleaming, she said, oh daddy, this land was made for you and me. This land is your land, this land is my land, from the northern highlands to the western islands, from the hills of Kerry to the streets of free Derry. This land was made for you and me. So I walked the homelands by the village steeple, proud of my country, proud of my people, for the men who cried there, for the men who died there, singing, this land was made for you and me. Here we go! This land is your land, this land is my land, from the northern highlands to the western islands, from the hills of Kerry to the streets of free Derry. This land was made for you and me. This land is your land, this land is my land, from the northern highlands to the western islands, from the hills of Kerry to the streets of free Derry. This land was made for you and me. All the way.
There was Wayne there.
Wonderful Wayne. Valerie King says brilliant. Bernadette Vidal says wonderful Wayne. So there you go.
Well, wonderful Wayne. Thanks indeed for...
One more, we're taking a wee break, and I know Davey Fury is going to be joining us then, so we're looking forward to that.
Well, Davey, be up, Charlie. We do one more song to finish. You went to Rosa Clare?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. For Mammy, yes.
I know Patricia was looking for this one. Who else was looking for this one? Bernadette Vidal. There's quite a few people.
We'll have that in the second half of the show. But meanwhile, after this song, we're going to introduce you to Davy Fury, all the way here from County Meath, and he's going to be entertaining you with some lovely songs. And every week we've had a very special guest. Davy's our guest this week, and last week we had, of course, Jim Woods, Damaris's brother, and we've had great talent here to perform during the intermission. So enjoy these songs, and before we do so, Miley, you want to say something about this song to Mammy?
The Road to Kildare, yeah, you know yourself, Derek. Well, it's a great song, and we've actually we were lucky to have a chance to be all together and do a new arrangement of it, so we're delighted with the outcome. So hope you all enjoyed it. I know there's a good reaction to the video as well, and we thank Pierce out there. I know Pierce is listening. He gives a hand with the video of this as well, so, and it's on YouTube. And
I believe you're in the villains.
I've been on the TV.
Well, that's one of the... I always say it's an ill wind that doesn't blow some good, and we got an opportunity during the lockdown to record many songs that we'd no time to record during our times and years on the road. So this is one of the ballads that we've recorded, and it's his to sing it. Here's Milo with the Roads of Kildare, street by street.
Johnny was born in a mansion down in the county of Clare, and Rosie was born by the roadside somewhere in County Kildare. Destiny brought them together on the road to Killarglen one day. In her bright tasty shawl she was singing, she stole his young heart away. She sang, meet me tonight by the campfire, and come with me over the hills. Let us be married tomorrow, please let me whisper I will. So what if the neighbors are talking? Who cares if your friends stop and stare? You'll be proud to be married to Rosie, who was reared on the roads of Kildare. Think of the parents who reared you, and think of the family name. Oh, how can you marry a gypsy? Oh, what a terrible shame. And parents and friends, stop your pleading. Don't worry about my affairs, for I've fallen in love with a gypsy who was reared on the roads of Kildare. She sang, meet me tonight by the campfire, and come with me over the hill. Let us be married tomorrow, please let me whisper I will. So what if the neighbors are stop and stare. You'll be proud to be married to Rosie, who was reared on the roads of Kildare. Johnny came down from his mansion just as the sun had gone down, and turning his back on his kinfolk and likewise his dear native town, and facing the roads of old Ireland with a gypsy he loved so sincere. When he came to the light of the campfire, oh, these are the words he did hear. She sang, "Meet me tonight by the campfire. Come with me over the hills. Let us be married tomorrow. Please let me whisper I will." So what if the neighbors are talking? Who cares if your friends stop and stare? You'll be proud to be married to Rosie, who was reared on the roads of Kildare. And meet me tonight by the campfire, and come with me over the hills. Let us be married tomorrow. Please let me whisper I will. So what if the neighbors are talking? Who cares if your friends stop and stare? You'll be proud to be married to Rosie, who was reared on the roads of Kildare.
Well, boys and girls,
lovely,
that
my
brings
love.
us to the end of the first half of the show, and we're going to call on Davy Fury now to sing a few songs for you. So don't go away, stay tuned, and you won't be disappointed.
We're going to show the ad for the cruise, folks. So we want you to come on our cruise on the 6th of February, and we'll play the ad before we have Davy. So stay with us, and we'll be back. Thank you. It's the holiday of the year aboard the Caribbean Princess for two Finnegans Irish Fun in the Caribbean Sun on their third annual Caribbean Cruise, featuring a host of Irish stars including Derek Warfield and the Young Wolfe Tones, Kathy Durkin, All Folked Up, Funny Man Gary Gamble, Olivia Douglas, the talented Aoife Cunningham, and Damien Quinn. We'll set sail from Fort Lauderdale, Florida on February 6th for 7 nights of great fun, visiting Princess Kay's private island in the Bahamas, St. Thomas in the US Virgin Islands, St. Kitts and Nevis. Enjoy your favorite cocktails, relax by the pool, swim in the warm seas, and much more. With prices starting from $12.99 per person sharing, it's the best value on the high seas. All cabin prices include your drinks package, unlimited Wi-Fi, all your onboard gratuities, and port taxes. For details on how to book this trip of a lifetime, email Sarah F at uniquetrav.com or telephone 001 561 495 5775. So join us for some Irish fun in the Caribbean winter sun in February 2022. You don't want to miss it. It's the holiday of the year aboard the Caribbean Princess for Two Finnegans Irish Fun in the Caribbean Sun on their third annual Caribbean cruise, featuring a host of Irish stars including Derek Warfield and the Young Wolfe Tones, Kathy Durkin, All Folked Up, Funny Man Gary Gamble, Olivia Douglas, the talented Aoife Cunningham, and Damien Quinn. We'll set sail from Fort Lauderdale, Florida on February 6th for 7 nights of great fun, visiting Princess Kay's private island in the Bahamas, St. Thomas in the US Virgin Islands, St. Kitts and Nevis. Enjoy your favorite cocktails, relax by the pool, swim in the warm seas, and much more. With prices starting from $12.99 per person sharing, it's the best value on the high seas. All cabin prices include your drinks package, unlimited Wi-Fi, all your onboard gratuities, and port taxes. For details on how to book this trip of a lifetime, email Sarah F at uniquetrav.com or telephone 001 561 495 5775. So join us for some Irish fun in the Caribbean winter sun in February 2022. You don't want to miss it.
Good evening, everybody. Big thank you to Derek and the band. Great first set there, man. This is a song I wrote about a very sacred place in County Meath, and it's called the Hill of Tara. And the song is called Tara. These lands are precious, none of which I dare to claim. The stories they tell have an endless flame. Spirits live here, alive and well. There's calmness here, up on the hill. From the sunset to the dawn, giving it all to the energy line. Walk with me to the fairy tree, let your heart follow the sign. There's a wild flower, and silent and still, powerful and precious, yeah, up on the hill. Where there's a flicker of light, where in the darkness of night, the king sits alone upon his throne, peaceful and still, yeah, up on the hill. Among these sacred fields, there's a different view. Before the daytime rush, there's the morning dew, creeping over the island while its souls are still. The King, he sees it all up on the hill. Where there's a flicker of light, where in the darkness of night the King sits alone and upon his throne, peaceful and still, yeah, up on the hill, yeah, up on the hill. Thank you very much. This is a song from the first album called Easy Come, Easy Go. It's been covered by a couple of people and it's called Good to Be Back Home. But the original is always the best. Not right, Derek? Well, I've been away for far too long, out singing my song, meeting women and drinking wine, but I've missed this land of mine. Good to be back home, good to be back home. I've been a-traveling a hard road, out looking for my goal. Tell you something, good to be back home. Well, I've seen places that would make you cry. I've swam in rivers, baby, that have now run dry. I've been stranded on roads of dirt, carrying only my bag of hurt. Good to be back home, good to be back home, yeah. I've been a-traveling a hard road, I'm looking for my gold. Tell you something, good to be back home. Spend some time looking back, wasting my days, riding down the railroad track, trying to find my way. Well, I've been beaten, I've been bruised, been a battered baby, been used, been lost on city streets with the kind of folk you should never meet. Good to be back home, good to be back home. I've been a-traveling a hard road, I'm looking for my goal. Tell you something, it's good to be back home. Good to be back home, good to be back home. I've been a-traveling, baby, a hard road, out looking for my gold. Tell you something, it's good to be back home. Thank you very much. This is a song that I wrote about the great hunger in Ireland, which in my own opinion wasn't a famine. This is called, it's called Presidents and Ghosts. I tried to capture the loneliness of the immigrant leaving the mountains for a place that they didn't know. They didn't know whether they'd get there. And when they did get there, it was like a different world to them. So I want to dedicate this to all the Irish immigrants across the world who are tuned in. It's good to hear from you. From the western shore to the eastern coast, some turned into presidents, some turned into ghosts. Farewell to that coastline is my home. I leave it all behind, gotta go it alone. "1845, trying to stay alive. These dirty grey streets I'd gladly swap for my mountainside. My family is gone now, these vicious waves I ride. 1845, trying to stay alive. Well, the coffin ships they sailed for many's the lonely week. Disease, rats and a starving race, survival was all they'd seek. They brought their pipes and whistles and the songs of '98, and they prayed for the ones that they left behind just to get through New York's gate. "1845, trying to stay alive. These dirty grey streets I'd gladly swap for my mountainside. My family is gone now, these vicious waves I ride. 1845, trying to stay alive. We'll work night and day, sir, till the setting of the sun. We'll build the roads and the railway lines, whatever needs to be done. Well, the wailing is in their ears, the loneliness stayed in their hearts. All they could see through those tearful eyes was the ocean that kept them apart. "1845, trying to stay alive. These dirty grey streets I'd gladly swap for my mountainside. My family is gone now, yeah, these vicious waves I ride. 1845, trying to stay alive. Hey, trying to stay alive. Hey, I'm trying to stay alive. Hey, Thank you very much. How long have we left? Keep her going. This is a new song from Haunted Streets. And it's called Who Am I? The album is Haunted Streets, which was released this year. And I hope to tour it pretty soon. I started off the total wrong air there altogether. I went into a different tune. And I knew that after about 5 seconds, but I was really digging the new air, so I just stayed going. Talking about the heat. It's the sunstroke, man. I recorded a video for this song on Achill Island in beautiful County Mayo. It's called Until the End of Time. Take my hand, don't let it go. I'll take you with me where the cool river flows. Sweet sun spreads between two hearts. There's no ending, there's no stars. Where it always is, sweet love shines, now and forever, until the end of time. There's a need to belong in every boy and girl. There's a magical spirit that turns this world. We must be free, be allowed to climb, now and forever, until the end of time. must be free, be allowed to climb, now and forever, until the end of time. Thank you very much. Thank you, folks. One more, is there? Lovely. This is a song called Shining Moon that I wrote for my daughter probably 18 years ago, I'd say, at this stage. I was very young when we had her, obviously. But I had just lost my father, so I thought this was like a conversation between my dad and my daughter. I'm going to hand you back to Derek and the band after this, and I want to thank the StockHouse restaurant for an absolutely gorgeous meal that I had earlier on, and for Mick for inviting me in, and for Darren and the boys for doing the sound, and to Derek and the band for having me in as well in between their set. Thanks very much, lads. Really appreciate it. Hot summer night, breaking through. Turn off the light and I'll show you everything that's been undone. There's nothing left here to be won. I will be your shining moon. I will be your shining moon. Listening to your every tune. I will be your shining moon. On your back, smoking the grass. These hard times, yeah, they're all gonna pass. There's only one way, all the way ahead. There's only one way to do the things that you said. I will be your shining moon. I will be your shining moon. Listening to your every tune. I will be your shining moon. Looking back on time with a glass that's full of wine, and it tastes divine as I watch it shine. Climbing up a hill with the wind in your face, I'd be there still, but I thought it a waste. Your destination, I'm sure you'll reach. I've taught you everything I could ever teach. I will be your shining moon. I will be your shining moon. Oh, listening to your every tune. I will be your shining moon. Hey, I will be your shining moon. I will be your shining moon. Listening to your every tune. I will be your shining moon. Thank you very much. Enjoy Derek and the band. See you all soon.
For the Caribbean Princess for Tim Finnegan's Irish Fun in the Caribbean Sun on their 3rd annual Caribbean cruise, featuring a host of Irish stars including Derek Warfield and the Young Wolfe Tones, Kathy Durkin, All Folked Up, Funny Man Gary Gamble, Olivia Douglas, the talented Aoife Cunningham, and Damien Quinn. We'll set sail from Fort Lauderdale, Florida on February 6th for 7 nights of great fun, visiting Princess Kay's private island in the Bahamas, St. Thomas in the US Virgin Islands, St. Kitts and Nevis. Enjoy your favorite cocktails, relax by the pool, swim in the warm seas, and much more. With prices starting from $12.99 per person sharing, it's the best value on the high seas. All cabin prices include your drinks package, unlimited Wi-Fi, all your onboard gratuities, and port taxes. For details on how to book this trip of a lifetime, email Sarah f@uniquetrav.com or telephone 001 561 495 5775. So join us for some Irish fun in the Caribbean winter sun in February 2022. You don't want to miss it.
Thank you very much there to Davy Fury for some wonderful songs he wrote about many great subjects there, and particularly nice to see him writing about the great Hill of Tara and all the associated history with it. So a thanks to him for performing. Thanks, Davy. And we're back.
Davy, yes.
Lots of nice comments there, actually, Davy. Lots of nice comments. People saying, thanks, Davy, enjoyed them songs. Vidal says, well done, Davy. Mandy Kemp says, welcome back, guys. So lots of people enjoyed them songs, and fair play.
We have lots of people who watch the show from around the world, and it's nice to bring along somebody that's writing new music and song. And thanks there to Davy. If we go back in history for this next ballad, and back to Leo Keegan Casey, who wrote the song back in the late 1850s. He wrote it on the 50th anniversary to commemorate the 50th anniversary of the Great Rebellion of 1798. And it became an iconic and a very important song because it became hugely popular across Ireland. And so much so that the authorities accused him of being seditious and treasonable, and they put him in prison. And unfortunately, poor Leo got pneumonia and died at a young age of 26. And Ireland lost a great bard and a wonderful literate man at a very young age. But he left us great songs, including this next one, The Rising of the Moon, so we sing it for you now. So, and we've had many requests like over the last few weeks for to sing this song, so sing it together with us. And incidentally, the Clancy Brothers recorded their first long-playing album and gave it the title, The Rising of the Moon. It also inspired a play that was written by Lady Gregory, and two books that were written quite recently, one about the Fenian invasion of Canada, written by Peter Beresford Ellis, and he wrote a book called The Rising of the Moon, and so also there was a book written about 1916. So it's been an inspirational ballad, and tonight we hope it inspires you watching. Thank you.
Yeah. Well, just to let you know, you can check up on Davy Fury on Facebook as well, folks. Check out his Facebook page. It's Davy Fury, and I'm sure there's plenty of material up there, and you can follow him away and show your support as well. And thanks very, very much. And a great job he did. Some fantastic songs. That last one is definitely an earworm for me anyway. I'll be singing in my sleep, I'd say.
Oh, jeez, you're rapping it already, Milo. Oh, yeah.
Great job. How was Kevin Deegan out there? How are you going, Kevin? Thanks very much for tuning in. We hope everyone is enjoying the show.
And Lee is looking for the Yellow Rose of Texas.
Oh, the Yellow Rose.
I wonder why.
Yes.
There's my brother Jim, our special guest last week.
Hello,
He's
Jim.
tuned in from Funkrana.
Funkrana, yes.
We have to go up and visit him in Funkrana. We've an open
yes,
invitation
definitely.
for all the band.
Fungarola. It seems like Fungarola there last week. This week, rather. All right.
The rising of the moon, 'tis the rising of the moon. Our army boys for freedom, 'tis the rising of the moon. The rising of the moon, 'tis the rising of the moon. Our army boys for freedom. freedom, 'tis the rising of the moon. Oh, then tell me, Sean O'Farrell, tell me why you hurry so. Hush, my vocal, hush and listen, and his cheeks were all aglow. I bet others from the captain, get you ready quick and soon. For the pikes must be together at the rising of the moon. The rising of the moon, at the rising of the moon. For the pikes must be together at the rising of the moon. Oh, then tell me, Sean O'Farrell, where the gathering is to be. In the old spot by the river, right well known to you and me. One more word for signal token, whistle up a marching tune. With your pike upon your shoulder at the rising of the moon. The rising of the moon, at the rising of the moon. With your pike upon your shoulder at the rising of the moon. All along that singing river, that dark mass of men were seen, and above their shining weapons hung their own beloved green. Yet to every foe and traitor forward strike a warning tune. And the army boys for freedom, 'tis the rising of the moon. The rising of the moon, 'tis the rising of the moon. And our army boys for freedom, 'tis the rising of the moon. Out of many a mud wall cabin, eyes were watching through the night. Many a manly heart was beating for the blessed warning light. Murmurs ran along the valley like the banshee's lonely croon. And 1,000 pikes were flashing at the rising of the moon. The rising of the moon, at the rising of the moon. And 1,000 pikes were flashing at the rising of the moon. Oh, they fought for dear old Ireland, and full bitter was the fate. For glorious pride and sorrow fills the name of 98. But thank God the hearts are beating still, a manhood's burning moon. Who would follow in their footsteps at the rising of the moon. The rising of the moon, at the rising of the moon. Who would follow in their footsteps at the rising of the moon. The rising of the moon, at the rising of the moon. Our army buys for freedom, 'tis the rising of the moon. Thank you very much indeed. The great song there by Leo Casey there from County Westmeath, from the town of Milltown. We had a very, very special request for Celtic Symphony, and I know that lots of people that asked for it last week. I don't know if we got around to it or not, but
actually, we have people looking for Celtic Maniac.
Yeah, well, the Celtic Symphony, and also we had a request, somebody was looking there for the Ballad of James Connolly. So.
I was making up for last week.
Yes, did we have last week?
Into each other, one after the
Yes.
other. No problem, yeah.
Yeah,
James Connolly,
well,
yes.
you want to sing the Ballad of James Connolly?
Yeah, let's do that, yeah.
Yes. Well, of course, many great songs were written and poems written about James Connolly. And as many of you know, there's lots of literature about his life and his family and the dedication that he had to Ireland. James Connolly was perhaps the one man of who signed a proclamation, who knew intimately the communities and societies of the Irish diaspora around the world, because he was born in Scotland in the Irish ghetto of Cowgate, and he spent time in New York City, in New Jersey, in Chicago, in Albany, New York, and all over the United States for 9 years, indeed working for the labor movement there. But James Connolly knew no borders when it came to the betterment of the conditions for working people. And his legacy is everywhere. He addressed people of every faith and of every nationality. And I was astonished to meet a man one time in New Jersey who told me he heard him speak, his grandfather and his father heard him speak in Italian. And any man would go to the trouble of learning a language. And at that time, the Italian immigrants in New Jersey and New York were numerous, and in every place that the Irish were looking for work, so were the Italians there with them. But James Connolly, sadly, was executed in an act of vengeance by the government authorities in England. They shot a dying man in Kilmainham prison. And if you get an opportunity when you come to Ireland, always visit Kilmainham prison. It's a shrine to Ireland's fight for freedom. Any man and woman that loved Ireland spent time in that Bastille of terror. This song, James Connolly, is going to be sung by Milo. And before it, I'm going to recite a short poem about the death of James Connolly. He was shot by a 19-year-old soldier who was from Wales, and his feelings are expressed in a beautiful poem that was written by Liam McGowan. And the poem, it reflects the feelings of a man, a young man who had been conscripted to fight in the First World War, which in every sense was the most unnecessary war in history. Millions of people died in that war, and young men from Ireland and from all over Scotland and England were sent to unwinnable military situations just to show a victory indeed for some general or some satisfy somebody at home. It's when we speak about James Connolly, he embraces the whole of Irish history, because he was 14 when he joined the British Army, and he spent 7 years in the army and deserted when the army was going to be sent overseas. So here's the poem written by a man who served in the same army, and his feelings. The man was all shut through that came today into the barrack square. A soldier I'm not proud to say that we killed him there. They brought him from the prison hospital, and to see him in that chair, oh Christ, it would call a man to prayer. Maybe I don't understand this thing that makes these rebels die, but all men love freedom and the spring clear in the sky. I wouldn't do this deed again for all that I hold by, as I gazed down my rifle at his breast, but then a soldier I. They say he was different, kindly too, apart from all the rest, a lover of the poor. His wounds ill-dressed, he faced us like a man who knew a greater pain than blows or bullets ere the war began. Died he in vain? Ready, present, and him just smiling. Christ, I felt my rifle shake. His wounds all open, around his chair a pool of blood, and I swear his lips said fire before my rifle shot that cursed lead, and I was picked to kill a man like that. James Connolly. Thank you.
A great crowd had gathered outside of Kilmainham, their heads all uncovered, they knelt to the ground. For inside that grim prison lay a brave Irish soldier, his life for his country about to lay down. He went to his death like a true son of Ireland, a firing party he bravely did face. When the order rang out, present arms and fire, James Connolly fell into a ready-made grave. The black flag was was hoisted, the cruel deed was over. Gone was the man who loved Ireland so well. There was many a sad heart in Dublin that morning when they murdered James Connolly, the Irish rebel. God's curse on New England, you cruel-hearted monster. Your deeds, they will shame all the devils in hell. But there are no flowers blooming, yet the shamrock is growing on the grave of James Connolly, the Irish rebel. Many years have gone by since the Irish rebellion, and the guns of Britannia, they loudly did speak, and the bold IRA, they stood shoulder to shoulder as the blood from their bodies flowed down Sackville Street. The forecourts of Dublin, they cruelly bombarded. Their spirit of freedom they tried hard to quell. But above all the din came the cry, no surrender. 'Twas the voice of James Connolly, the Irish rebel.
Where would you get it,
And look
folks?
at those comments.
Thanks there to a great rendition of a great song to a great man, James Connolly. This time I'm going to Andreas sing, so here is his favourite song, Come Down from the Mountains, Katie Daly.
Come on down.
So come on, get out your bottles of
By the way,
punching.
Derek, we have
Absolutely.
a couple of requests there, a few requests there for the Dying Rebel. So maybe Wayne might give that a good lash.
Alrighty. So we'll dedicate this to all the people downstairs having their food and their drink. I hope you all have a great night. And we want you to drop everything. We want to see you singing and clapping along to this one. James, don't drop the plates. Oh, Lord. You break it, you bring it home. And we'll dedicate this to all the hard-working staff, as always, here in the StockHouse, doing a great job. Alrighty.
Okay, Katie, get it moving there. Get it the whip.
Katy Daly, come down from the mountains, Katy Doo. Can't you hear us calling, Katy Daly? We want to drink your Irish Mountain Dew. All right, come down the mountains, Katy Daly. Come down from the mountains, Katy Doo. Can't you hear us calling, Katy Daly? We want to drink your Irish Mountain Dew. But our old man Katie came from Tipperary in the pioneering year of 42. Her old man, he was shot City
Bang, bang.
for the making of the Irish Mountain Dew. Hey, come down the mountains, Katy Daly. Come down from the mountains, Katy Dew. Can't you hear us calling, Katy Daly? We want to drink your Irish Mountain Dew. Wake up and pay attention, Katy Daly. I'm the judge that's going to say it's you. All the boys in court have drank your whiskey. And to tell the truth, dear Kate, I drank some too. Hey, come down the mountains, Katy Daly. Come down from the mountains, Katy Dew. Can't you hear us calling, Katy Daly? We want to drink your Irish Mountain Dew. All right. So up to jail they took poor Katy Daly.
Nina, Nina.
But very soon the gates they opened wide. An angel came for poor old Katy Daly and took her far across the great divide. Hey, come down the mountains, Katy Daly. Come down from the mountains, Katy Dew. Can't you hear us calling, Katy Daly? We want to drink your Irish Mountain Dew. Well, at the Golden Gates there stood poor Katy, and Peter said, good brewers, they are few. So step inside the Golden Gates, good Katy, and start to brew your heavenly Mountain Dew. Hey, come down the mountains, Katy Daly. Everybody, come down from the mountains, Katy Dew. Can't you hear us calling, Katy Daly? We want to drink your Irish Mountain Dew. You're on your own, everybody, come on. Come down the mountains, Katy Daly. Let's see those hands downstairs. Come down from the mountains, Katy Dew. Can't you hear us calling, Katy Daly? We want to drink your Irish Mountain Dew. One more time. Come down the mountains, Katy Daly. Come down from the mountains, Katy Dew. Can't you hear us calling, Katy Daly? We want to drink your Irish Mountain Dew. Can't you hear us calling, Katy Daly? We want to drink your Irish Mountain Dew. Woo! Lovely, 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 lovely.
And that was the golden voice there of Andreas there with Katy Daly, and lots of fun. Wayne, we'd request for Wayne to sing The Dying Rebel, the great song by Seamus Kavanagh. He wrote this ballad, and it's a song that's been sung for in the generation after 1916. This was a very, very popular street ballad and very popular with people, certainly in Dublin, where I heard it sung many times in my youth. And but it's a wonderful ballad, and written in the old style of Dublin old Camalias. And here's to sing it, the man from Offaly, Wayne, and here he is with The Dying Rebel.
Sneaky weaky Wayne now. I thought Derek was going to sneaky weaky.
Oh yeah, oh Wayne, no, he's a sneaky wee, all right.
One, two, three, four.
The night was dark and the fight was over. The moon shone down O'Connell Street. I stood alone where a brave man perished. Those men have gone, they're God to me. My only son was shot in Dublin, fighting for his country bold. He fought for Ireland and Ireland only. The harp and shamrock, green, white and gold. Well, the first I met was a grey-haired father searching for his only son. I said, oh man, well, there's no use searching, for up to heaven your son has gone. My only son was shot in Dublin, fighting for his country bold. He fought for Ireland and Ireland only. The harp and shamrock, green, white and gold. Well, the old man cried out broken-hearted, bending o'er, I heard him say, I knew my son, he was too kind-hearted. Well, I knew my son, he would never ail. My only son was shot in Dublin, fighting for his country bold. He fought for Ireland and Ireland only. The harp and shamrock, green, white and gold. Well, the last I met was a dying rebel, bending low, I heard him say, God bless my home in dear Cork City, and bless the cause on which I died. My only son was shot in Dublin, fighting for his country bold. He fought for Ireland and Ireland only. The harp and shamrock, green, white and gold. The harp and shamrock, green, white and gold.
Wonderful, Wayne.
Nice, Wayne.
Wonderful, Wayne. As I see the comment.
Wayne's
Wayne
World.
says,
Very nice. This
brilliant, Wayne.
this
Lots of
time-
wonderful Wayne comments coming
yes,
up
we'll finish over our songs of 1916 with Oro Shed of Ahawalia, a song that was written by Padraig Pearse. He wrote the song specifically for the volunteers of 1916, and he wrote a ballad that has endured over the years, and I'm sure one that most of you know. Padraig Pearse had a wonderful appreciation and understanding of the importance of the Gaelic language, and he said at one time that no language and no nation, and he wrote this ballad for the men and women that followed him into battle, and I'm sure many of you will join in with us as we sing Oro Shed of Ahawalia.
One, two, three.
Ora shidava walia, ora shidava walia, ora shidava walia. And it's your hot and tauri rish, ora shidava walia, ora shidava walia, ora shidava walia. And it's your hot and tauri. Shedva banvarim brother they are correct to bring leaving the higbra shall of merlock is to deal to lesson the live or a shedva walia or a shedva walia or a shedva walia and it's a hoktan tauri. Dina bakko vekam maybe oh they got shot and run away the speed of God's talk ek forget fine a live or a shidva walia or a shidva walia or a shidva walia and it's a hot and tauri. Tagran you wail the chapter saw ya ugly garma halima god that whale eat fain if like no spawning it's the ruger there na live or a shidva walia or a shidva walia or a shidva walia and the share hot on tauri or a shidva walia or a shidva walia or a shidva walia and it's share hot on tauri. And Sarah, well, on Sarah.
Ante.
I say, does she on show?
Ante, on show.
Does she on show?
Jeez, I love using a bit of Irish.
Good to meet him, Magwiv. That's Shin and Tower on the Screeve, Patrick Pierce, Stogling, the Heron, August Mila.
We do a bit of Go Lassie. We get
Yes, a little bit of Go Lassie Go is requested. Go Lassie Go, one of the great songs that were popularised by the McPeak family, and the McPeak family were from Belfast. A very old ballad, and I've no doubt that you all know it and will sing it with us. So here's Go Lassie Go.
Alrighty.
Gary Rollins is looking for car.
Call
The Empire. Mandy Kemp says
we
brilliant stuff.
have so many requests they're coming in on the internet that will be here until 5 in the morning.
Should no
Yes.
harm.
And you know what? It hasn't stopped us before.
Sue Watson says, welcome back, Milo.
Milo, where were you? Tell anyone who just joined us, where were you?
Sure, I was away. I was away getting married.
So,
I was away getting married.
We're off
Go
tying knots.
to the chapel and you... Oh, no, it wasn't chapel.
We're off tying an owl knot.
Kevin
Climbing what?
Deegan says, beautifully
tying
sung,
a knot.
Wayne, well done.
Yeah, cheers. Thanks,
Florence Farton says, woohoo. Rachel Cook says, hop.
Hop,
How about that? Yep. Kay Whelan says, brilliant, Wayne. So, lots of nice comments there.
Thank you very much, folks.
You'll be back next week, Milo, Wayne.
What do you mean? What do you mean?
Jesus, it's hot. Right.
Okay.
1, 2, 3, 4.
Oh, the summer time is coming, and the trees are sweetly blooming, and the wild mountain thyme grows around the blooming heather. Now will you go, lassie, go, and we'll all go together to pluck wild mountain thyme all around the blooming heather. Now will you go, lassie, go? If my true love, she were gone, I would surely find another where the wild mountain thyme grows around the blooming heather. Now will you go, lassie, go, and we'll all go together to pluck wild mountain thyme all around the blooming heather. Now will you go, lassie, go? Let's hear the banjo tomorrow. I will build my love a bower near yon pure as crystal fountain, and on it I will pile all the flowers of the mountain. Now will you go, lassie, go, and we'll all go together to pluck wild mountain thyme all around the blooming heather. Now will you go, lassie, go, and we'll all go together to pluck wild mountain thyme all around the blooming heather. Now will you go, lassie, go? 2, 3.
Okay, there we go. This time, many requests for, once again, Andreas to sing the Fields of Athenry. And no greater song to remind us all of the starvation of our people than this next ballad. And if you have, and you're watching around the world and you have an ounce of Irish blood in you, you were a survivor of Ireland's Holocaust in the 1840s and 50s, when millions of people were starved, dispersed, and disposed of out of Ireland in the years following the Great Hunger. So let's hear join and sing with Andreas as he sings the great song written by Pete St. John, based on an older ballad that was written in Galway, The Fields of Athenry. So sing it out with pride.
Thank you, Derek. I can hardly breathe. No, that we're not doing. I don't think we're doing that. Yeah. No. Jesus.
Right.
Alrighty. Oh God.
Oh.
We'll do that the instrumental in the pizza.
We'll all have to paddle faster now.
Jesus. Oh God.
The last time you get to see one of my t-shirts.
Sorry, say that again.
I have a t-shirt that says...
Oh, t-shirt.
I have a t-shirt that says, paddle fast or I hear banjos.
Oh.
Oh, so...
Alrighty.
1, 2, 3, 4.
My lonely prison wall, I heard a young man calling. Michael, they are taking you away, for you stole your valiance, for so the young might see the morn. Now the prison ship lies waiting in the bay. Everybody, here we go. Low lie the fields of Baton Rouge, where once we watched the small free birds fly. Our love was on the wing. We had dreams and songs to sing. It's so lonely round the fields of Baton Rouge. By a lonely prison wall, I heard a young man calling. Nothing matters, Mary, now you're free. Oh, Mary dear, come here. Against the famine and the crowd, I rebelled, they ran me down. Now you must raise our child with dignity. Everybody, here we go. Low lie the fields of Baton Rouge, where once we watched the small free birds fly.
Hey, baby, let the free birds fly.
Our love was on the wing. We had dreams and songs to sing. It's so lonely round the fields of Baton Rouge. My lonely harbor wall, she watched the last star falling as the prison ship sailed out against the sky. Should you leave an open pray for love in my deep pain? It's so lonely round the fields of Baton Rouge. Low lie the fields of Baton Rouge, where once we watched the small free birds fly.
Hey, baby, let those free birds fly.
Our love was on the wing. We had dreams and songs to sing. It's so lonely round the fields of Baton Rouge. One more time, everybody, here we go. 1, 2, 3. Low lie the fields of Baton Rouge, where once we watched the small free birds fly.
Hey, baby, let those free birds fly.
Our love was on the wings. We had dreams and songs to sing. It's so lonely around the fields of Baton Rouge. It's so lonely round the fields of Baton Rouge.
would you get it? That's the golden voice of Andreas there with the great Fields of Athenroy.
That's the cue.
Streets in New York is coming up now. Very
for the
special
toilet that was
request
snapping there.
for all the New Yorkers. And there's no doubt about it that this next ballad, probably one of the most popular ballads we ever recorded down through the years, paying a tribute to all those men and women of Irish birth and extraction who filled the ranks of the NYPD, and particularly dedicated to my good friends in the Pipes and Drums Band, the badge of identity of New York, indeed, police men and women. So here's Milo and the Streets of New York. So sing it out with pride.
Thanks, Derek.
Okay, Milo. This song was #1 on the day I was born in 1981.
Jeez, you're an old fella.
So
You're an old
in
fella.
2 weeks' time, I'll be celebrating my 40th birthday and so will that.
Very good.
Happy birthday! Happy birthday!
man.
Happy birthday. Yes. Does your birthday go on for a week or a week, man?
It goes on for a month, Derek.
God, I know someone who would have birthday that long.
I think Andres is for 6 months.
Oh, God.
See how long I can get over this wedding.
1, 2, 3, 1.
Oh, Jesus. Oh, God.
I don't
It's
think you
all
mean
The
just-
celebration's
Oh, right.
not the
not the
marriage.
actual wedding.
The celebration.
You know, every summer now, you're going to play in Ireland. You're going to have your anniversary every
Anniversary.
July in Ireland. It's July the 16th is going to be your anniversary every year. So. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2.
I was 18 years old when I went down to Dublin with a fistful of money and a cartload of dreams. Take your time, said me father, stop rushing like hell, and remember all is not what it seems to be. For there's fellas would cut you for the coat on your back, or the watch that you got from your mother. So take care, me young bucko, and mind yourself well. Will you give this wee note to me brother? At the time, Uncle Benji was a policeman in Brooklyn. Me father, the youngest, he looked after the farm. When a phone call from America said send a lad over, me old fella said, sure that wouldn't do any harm. For I've spent my life working this dirty old ground for a few pints of porter and the smell of a pound. Sure, maybe there's something you'll learn or you'll see, and you can bring it back home. Make it easy on me. So I landed at Kennedy when a big yellow taxi carried me and me bags through the streets and the rain. Well, me poor heart was thumping around with excitement, and I hardly even heard what the driver was saying. We came in the short parkway through the flatlands of Brooklyn to my uncle's apartment on East 53rd. I was feeling so happy, I was humming a song, and I sang You're as free as a bird. Well, to shorten the story, what I found out that day was that Benji got shot down in an uptown foray. And while I was flying my way to New York, poor Benji was lying in a cold city morgue. So I phoned up the old fella, told him the news. I could tell he could hardly stand up in his shoes, and he wept as he told me, go ahead with the plan, but not to forget, be a proud Irishman. So I went up to Nellie's beside Fordham Road, started to learn about lifting the load. But the heaviest thing that I carried that year was the bittersweet thoughts of my hometown so dear. I went home that December, 'cause me old fella died, and to borrow the money from Bill on the side. And sure all the bright flowers and brass couldn't hide the poor wasted face of my father. I sold up the old farmyard for what it was worth. Into my bag stuck a handful of earth, and I boarded a plane and I caught me a train, and I found myself back in the US again. It's been 22 years since I set foot in Dublin. Me kids know to use the correct knife and fork, but I'll never forget the green grass and the rivers as I keep law and order on the streets of New York. La la la, la la la, la la la.
So, boys and girls, but that Streets of New York brings us to the end of our show.
Once again, that's the cue for the toilet, folks.
One more tune.
But before we go, folks, we would like to thank you all for watching around the world. Those of you that have sent in requests and we didn't do them, don't be too sad, because we generally get around at some stage to every song that were requested on the internet. But I want to acknowledge the young Wolfe tones here to remind you that they're probably some of the most talented, indeed, balladeers and musicians here in Ireland today. And just to let you know, on the right-hand side we have, in the newlywed, young man with guitar from County Kildare, Milo Milan. Give him a big round of applause.
Thank you.
And on the left-hand side, we have the man with the golden red organ.
Lovely.
Yes. A man from the great county Cavan, the only county in Ireland that printed its own money.
What an organ.
Yes.
Absolutely, we're
Cavan,
dead right.
Yes, and they still, the gold, you'll find the Rileys, they were called Rileys, and you'll find them all over the world. The Cavan people were very flahoolic with their money.
Fantastic.
And they spent it everywhere. And Andreas will tell you that, but give him a big bull of bus. Andreas Storkin from County Cavan.
Thank you, folks. Thank you very much. Thank you.
And right behind here from County Offaly, we have Wayne Burriton, indeed. He's just barely an Offaly man, because little bits of him are in Kildare, and there's no more bits of him in County Laois. So give him a big bull of bus. The man for 3 counties, but he only has allegiance to one, County Offaly. Wayne Burriton on the bass.
I don't want to think what he leaves in each county.
And last but by no means least, the lady of the stage, the flying fingers of Damaris Woods and the banjo, and she's at home here. Her fingers nearly fly up to Tara when she gets into County Meath. Give her a big bull of bus and a tenor banjo, Damaris Woods.
Fantastic. Well, ladies and gentlemen, none of this would be possible without our sound and television crew here. To Darren and Stephen, thank you, lads, as always. Great job.
Thanks, Greg.
And big thank you to the management and staff here in the StockHouse who look after us, who look after everybody downstairs and everybody upstairs and everywhere. Thank you, lads and lassies, and we appreciate it as always. But none of us would be here if it wasn't for
a special guest.
Oh, yes, thank you, Milo. Yes. None of us would be here if it wasn't for our special guest, Davy Fury. Give him a big round of applause. What a comeback. I love it. But anyway, none of us would be here also for it wasn't for this man in the middle. for over For over 55 years, he's toured the world, toured Meath, and he's back here tonight. Ladies and gentlemen, the original member of the Wolfe Tones, Mr. Derek Warfield.
You did a great job on that.
Oh, I always try every week, Derek.
Well, folks,
Thank me.
nothing left for us, and we're going to finish up with a great song written by Thomas Davis, A Nation Once Again. Good night, God bless, until we see you all next week. And don't forget, if you feel like singing, do sing an Irish song. Awesome. And that's the old slogan, indeed, of the Walton programs, and it's good sense, and it makes good sense. Sing it out, A Nation Once Again. When boyhood's fire was in my blood, I read of the ancient freemen of Greece and Rome who bravely stood, 300 men and 3 men. And there I prayed I yet might see our fetters rent in twain, and Ireland long a province be, a nation once again, a nation once again, a nation once again, and Ireland long a province be, a nation once again. It whispered to that freedom ark and service high and holy would be profaned by feelings dark, or fashioned vain or lowly. But freedom comes from God's right hand and needs a godly train, and righteous men will make our land a nation once again, a nation once again, a nation once again, and Ireland long a province be, a nation once again. So as I grew from boy to man, I bent me to that bidding, the spirit of its selfish plan, but cruel passion ridding. And thus I hope someday to aid, or can such hope be vain, when my dear country will be made a nation once again, a nation once again, a nation once again, and Ireland long a province be, a nation once again. Together, a nation once again, a nation once again, and Ireland long a province be, a nation once again.
Oh, good night, folks.
Don't forget our
Slán.
cruise. Check out our cruise.
Check out our cruise. 6th of February, we want you all coming along with us. Good night, God bless.
Bye.